Good morning from the polytunnel. Today is mission plant tomatoes. I have spent the morning loading the car and unloading the car, now that I'm at the allotment, with all of my plants from at home. They are all here. And also a new addition, I did not know what to do about the whole shelving situation. I've got so many plants that I felt like I couldn't really dismantle my greenhouse thing that I've got in my conservatory with all of my plants on. So Homebase actually have 15% off everything at the moment, so I got this wallpaper table because it is exactly the same width, kind of, as my polytunnel, and I thought, you know what, that would be great for at the back, and it will serve as like a little potting bench as well, and for any other seeds that I want to plant next year or like overwintering and stuff, I can then put on the table. And what I am going to do is take apart the greenhouse that was in here and use the racking and use it as extra space, so I can kind of go a little bit more vertically. But yeah, these are all of the plants. So all of my very leggy tomatoes from at home. I didn't actually realise like what tomato plants I had here. So I do have, like, I've got some sweet millions that I've brought from home, but I've got sweet millions here that are like this size. So I might just kind of discard the other one. I feel bad doing that, but I feel like this is a much better, because it's been growing here for 3 weeks, maybe a month or so since I've bought my first lot of plants up. So yeah, there are some tomatoes here that are doing a lot better than my tomatoes from at home, so I'm going to probably pot up those tomatoes that have been here. The only thing is that now that I've moved them all around, only a few of them have labels in them, so I don't know what half of them are. So we're just going to plant some of the best ones. I know I've got some. Ooh, there's a big pigeon that swooped by outside. I've got some labelled here that are good from at home, and then I've got some labelled here from the greenhouse, from the polytunnel. Just so you can get a little overview as to what I've done. There was like, well, I've moved my cardboard box. It was out here, but I've moved it now. There was a cardboard box and all of my tarpaulin and fleece and everything was just scattered over this side. So I folded it all up neatly and put it underneath the table. I'm also thinking I can store other stuff, like maybe some more plants underneath the table. I know it won't get as much light as like on the table, but now sort of both sides, like down the sides, are free. I feel like the middle has got a lot of room. When I pull up this weed sheet that I've got down, I feel like I'm going to make a little bit less of a path down the middle and then have some slightly wider beds. Then I can plant next year, this will be, not this year, then I can plant tomatoes and then maybe something else, like some indoor beetroot or something else, so that the beds are slightly bigger, and then it will kind of like taper out into a T up here, so I can still access my bench. But yeah, these are all the plants so far. So all of these ones I've brought from home, so you can just see how kind of long and leggy these are. The aubergines are doing really well though, so that's good. These will probably be going into the cold frame rather than staying in here. I don't know, I'm not sure. But obviously the squash and everything are doing really well. So what I'm going to do is plant up all of these tomatoes. I've bought some pots from Homebase this morning. And just pot off, I think I've got 8 pots and then I've got 2 other usable pots. So all I've done is bought these. So I've also bought some plug plants as well, some broccolis, But I've got just these, hopefully they're big enough. They are, I don't know what size they are. But yeah, I've got some plug plants of some red kale, which I thought would look really nice. And then some broccoli as well. But yeah, these pots, and then these are the pots that I've got from home. So what I'm going to do, first of all, is sift, well, first of all, weed some of this, and then I'm going to start sifting like the top layer so that I can use it in the bottom of my pots, and then top it up with some fresh compost. I think that's probably going to be the best thing to do. So I'm just going to sit here and sift some of the compost first of all. Also, I've remembered to bring my tripod from at home, so there'll be no more super low angles. There'll be higher angles, so you can actually look down on what I'm doing. I've got my trusty sieve. I'm just gonna place it over there and then chuck the dirt in and just shushle it around, and hopefully I'll get some nice dirt out of it. Wow, the possibilities with an actual tripod. I don't have to hold it. So I've got my pots that I have kind of put some drainage in the bottom as best as I can because I forgot my drill. So I've kind of punctured a hole in the very bottom, and I hope that that is sufficient for now. I've sifted one big pot of compost or soil. It's actually really nice. Like, now that it's been sifted, it's actually really good. So I'm gonna fill, oh, there's a weird bug over there. I'm gonna fill the pots, or a few of the pots, because I'm not sure if I'm going to get all of the tomatoes potted up, and it doesn't matter if they're just kind of sitting here. I've got eight of these grey pots, and then I think I've probably got 2 other pots. So I've got 10 pots in total. So I need to pot up, I've got 2 cucumbers which need a pot. So then I've got 8 pots of tomatoes. So I need to separate 8 different tomatoes. I think I've got 5 varieties in total. So I can have 5 and then duplicates of any others. So I'm probably going to have 2 sun golds and the green zebras. I'm not sure. I need to sort out which ones I'm going to have. I've got tumbling toms, which they can go outside, those ones. And actually some of these other tomatoes can go outside, so maybe I will try some outside as well as in the polytunnel. And maybe I won't discard the plants, I'll just keep them in the polytunnel until I've got some more pots. I think for outside I'm going to get some terracotta pots, which I might go back to home base and get a couple of. Couldn't decipher what the price was on them though, so anyway, I'm going to fill these up and then top them. I'm kind of going to do it half with this soil. I'm going to have to sift some more, but half with this soil and then half with some compost from a tomato grow bag that I've got outside. Maybe something like that, and then just top the rest up, because obviously I want them to have some nutrients, but I don't want them to be like all of this soil. I could probably do 3 with what I've sifted, maybe 4. Maybe 5. They're half filled-ish. It's 5 that side. And then 2 cucumber pots, those brown ones. and then 3 other tomato pots. So 8 tomatoes in here, and then there's a bug on me and then 2 cucumbers. So I just need to add some sticks, some canes, and fill them up a little bit more with some, I've got this grow bag, so we'll fill this, put some of this in here to top them up, and obviously put the tomatoes in. And I've got these canes as well. So the canes are a little bit too long, and I hope that I have my saw with me. They're just a little bit long. I'm gonna go and check in my car to see whether I've got my saw. Right, they're all attached to the top pole. I don't know if this is going to be a good idea. I think I've seen somebody else do it, someone that I follow on Instagram maybe, but they're all in, and my thoughts are, if the polytunnel moves, the tomatoes will move with them, but they'll be held up and tied down, so they shouldn't like fall over, because that's my fear, is that they're gonna like fall over. But it shouldn't, fingers crossed, we shouldn't get too much more wind. But now I've just got to put some of them in. You know what, I've decided to put in my cucumbers. There was a resident snail in the polytunnel. It's been munching away at my leaf. So I'm going to just fill these 2 up and put the cucumbers in. I'm gonna sit on it. Right, so these are both Bella varieties. I've actually, usually when I grow plants at home, I don't tend to get very good root systems, but I'm pretty happy with that. So you're gonna go in here. I'll top them up in a second once I'm off of my bag of compost. And then I think these ones grow up stakes, in which case I'll push a small stake in. But I don't know whether these are sprawling ones or whether I can grow them up stakes. Yeah, look at the root systems. I'm wondering whether I could actually bury this one a little further so that it's up to its first leaves. Okay, no, I've decided to put in a couple of tomatoes. So I'm putting in Marmande, which are the beef tomatoes, and a sweet million. So I think I'm going to put the sweet million here because I'm thinking it'll probably have smaller fruits, and then this is right at the front of the polytunnel, so let's take this boy out. Perfect. And then I'll just fill it up until it gets to the first leaves. Okay, so we've got 5 varieties in. This one needs tying, I know, so does this one, but the 5 different varieties here are all done, so at least we'll have 5 tomato plants, hopefully, fingers crossed. And then the cucumbers down there are all in. I've got these 3 here, but I'm going to see what all of these tomatoes do. I'm going to just get the watering can and give this all a quick water, and then that's me done for today. It's actually been quite a long sweaty day because it's very, very warm, and I decided to wear a long sleeve t-shirt. But there's the tomatoes. It's very, very warm in here. I'm wondering whether I should open a vent, open a little flap, maybe these 2 on this side here, because the wind usually comes like at the tunnel this side. But yeah, I'm pleased that that's in, and that I now have a table to store everything. I'm not sure how long it'll last with me keep watering stuff on it like that, but yeah. I'm gonna put in some other tomatoes as well, but I'll come up tomorrow maybe and sort those out. But yeah, it's getting good. I'm really excited. In the next one I will be doing my bean archway. I will be putting that up, and I'll also give you a little bit of a tour, a little bit of a look around to see what exactly is growing. Also, I just want to mention thank you to Seren's Garden for a little shout out on her latest video, so thank you. If you don't already follow her, I'm going to leave her link in my description like she did with me, so you can go and check her out if you like gardening vlogs. But yeah, it's very, very sweaty. I need to get out of here. I'm not envious of these plants that have to now stay in this condition, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you have any advice on my tomatoes or anything, please do let me know, but otherwise I'll catch you guys in the next vlog.